How's everybody doing out there on the internet? This is your friend Big Frank at Eclectic Collecting Arsenal, and this is the gun I've been waiting to do the full video on. I am so excited. I need extra coffee. That's liquid happiness. This is bang bang happiness. 30 carbine, AutoMag III, IAI version of this. Originally developed by the AMT company, the AutoMag III is based off of the 1911. If you look closely at it, you'll see there are several designs that are comparable to the 1911, which is no surprise because the 1911 was the platform that this gun was based off of. You can see similar designs from the ribs right here to the slide design. Even the overall ejector system has an uncanny similarity to the 1911, but then again, I can't really speak too much for this because when I did my initial research, there was not a lot of information. You would think that something like this would have a lot of information out there. Originally developed by AMT, designed late 80s, put into production during the 90s, ceased production in 2001, I believe it was. Not a lot of information though. Not a lot of information. It was originally created in California by AMT. When they went out of business, all of their business got taken over by IAI, Irvingdale Arms Incorporated, and they just continued with the licenses. And honestly, that's all the information I was able to find. Not much of a pop culture following because unlike other firearms, this was never really featured in any movies. Nobody's ever really seen it. There was one cameo appearance at a Sandra Bullock movie. I can't even remember what it was. But the truth is, most of us only know about this gun from Matt at Demolition Ranch. I'm not going to lie, when he featured the AutoMag III in his video, that was the first time I heard of it. And I was interested instantly because 30 carbine in a handgun? Yeah, I'm definitely going to be interested in that. I love heavy artillery. I prefer handguns to any other type of firearm out there. And realistically, if it wasn't for Matt at Demolition Ranch, I wouldn't have known about this. And when he released the video a few years ago, I fell in love with this. The design was gorgeous. I love all steel construction firearms. And the muzzle flash. Ooh, that muzzle flash is beyond delicious. Beyond delicious. It's almost as much fun as the slam fire on my Ithaca 37. But we digress because we're going to be doing a little bit something different on this video. This gun is extremely hard to come by. Realistically, you can only find it through online brokers. And if you purchase it online, you have to ship it to a federal firearms license establishment. They run the background check on you, and if you pass, you get the gun back. If you get the gun, and if you don't pass, they end up sending it back to the seller. But to find these things in an actual gun shop is very rare, because those of us that do know about it, we snap it up instantly. Those of us that don't know about it, we're going to look at it and think it's a 1911 long slide, and we're going to pass on it. Because 1911 long slides, I mean, if you're dealing with a long slide, you're going to be looking at a 10 millimeter. And a lot of people don't like 10 millimeter. But that's realistically what I discussed with the guys at the gun shop when I picked this up. As far as the tail of the tape goes, well, we're just going to skip that altogether because this thing, just from the look of it, you're going to see it's a very large gun. The weight is definitely there. This is a very heavy gun. Absolutely heavy. And realistically, I don't think you guys are interested in the tech stats on this one because everybody wants to see how it performs at the range. Now, I have received several comments in the shorts I have produced about this. Some guys have said it is horribly inaccurate. Some guys have, one guy actually said, I don't have anything queued up right now while I'm filming this, But one guy actually said, "I'm sorry for you for owning this thing." And there are some haters on this gun. But we're going to take a look unbiased at the range. I will say this, however, the .30 carbine ammunition this takes has been a little hard to come by. I have to go online to find some because in stores, the only ammo that was available was a Gia. I hate this ammunition. I absolutely hate a Gia because I have always found them to be an underpowered round, and you're going to see it while we're doing the testing. I'm going to be going online and purchasing some better .30 carbine ammunition, but you'll see it. The Gia does not produce a very good muzzle flash. It's an okay round, great for the range, great for training purposes, but it doesn't have the same oomph and fun associated with it. So there's not going to be a muzzle flash on every one of these. I will likely end up reshooting this, so when I get the new ammunition, that way you can see how much the muzzle flash comes out on this one. You'll still see some muzzle flash, but not a lot. But for now, we're going to skip the tail of the tape, and in a special Eclectic Collecting First, we are going to be providing an unedited version of the range session. It's going to be approximately 8 minutes long, and there will be no editing. The only thing that I've edited is the sound so that I can do the voiceovers, but the actual video itself from start to finish is the test of this gun, and it's broken down this way. We tested it at 3 distances, 5, 10, and 20 yards. So I started at 5 yards, tested 3 rounds there, and then I doubled it up to 10 yards, tested 3 rounds there, then doubled it again, and we tested 3 rounds at 20 yards. We're going to head over to the range right now, and let's take a look at how this performed. The AutoMag III, one of the crown jewels in my collection. Let's head to the range. All right, let's get right into it. We're going to set it up quickly at 5 yards. I absolutely love the Texas Gun Club. I spend so much time here, and they're so cool about me filming my videos on there. And right here we have our first 5-yard test, aiming for the head on all of these right here. 3 shots, boom, right dead center of the head right there. I will admit that the grouping is a little bit larger than normal, but still at 5 yards, 15 feet, very accurate right there. And just to be on the safe side, I'm going to do a second test at 5 yards, so we're going to back it up a little bit more. Again, this is unedited footage right here, no skips, no nothing. So we're going to get a full unbiased test on the AutoMag III and its shooting capabilities. Overall, I love it. Now let's load up with 3 rounds and take a look at the next series. Yeah, for those of you that came in to see the muzzle flash, I have to apologize because, like I said, the Gia rounds didn't do very much. But as you can see, we're still fairly accurate. The grouping size and location, relatively the same at 5 yards right there. Headshots all around, and it's looking pretty good. And yes, I followed some advice that you guys gave me a long time ago. I use multiple targets whenever I do one of these tests. So at 5 yards, this gun is doing very good. So what we're going to do is we're going to double the distance and take it back to 10 yards. And 3 more rounds. Let's take a look at how it does. What I can tell you right before we get to it is the recoil on this thing surprisingly light. I don't really feel any recoil. Let's get 3 rounds loaded up and we'll give it a shot. Whenever you're dealing with a larger gun, I think it just does so much better when it has that weight. Because as you can see, 3 headshots, perfect right there. And we're going to do another test at 10 yards right there just to make sure. I want to give everybody who is a naysayer on this as many tests as possible. But at 10 yards, that recoil not really affecting it very much, and it's staying pretty steady, so that means it's accurate. Another 3 yards down, and as I was saying before, when you got a heavier gun, recoil is mitigated a little bit, but you still have to control it in order to make sure you stay accurate. And as you can see, at 10 yards, 30 feet, all of it absolutely perfect. Headshots all around. And at 30 feet, realistically beyond that, I'm not going to be drawing my firearm and shooting, because at 30 feet, I still feel that I have enough time and enough distance that if I need to get into a self-defense situation, I can either disengage and get away from somebody, or just drawing my firearm will be enough to dissuade somebody. So even though we're going to be backing it up all the way to 20 yards in the next round of testing, that's going to be 60 feet. Realistically, at this distance, I would be switching to a rifle if I needed to. And as you can see, that is quite a distance right there. Quite a distance. And I'm realistically expecting it to get a little bit inaccurate here. But let's load up 3 rounds and let's take a look. And there we go. 3 shots down. Let's take a good look at the grouping on this one. And I will absolutely say that I believe this is where it's going to get inaccurate. And as you can see, 2 headshots right there. The third one went off target. Still, 2 out of 3 dead on right there. And even at 20 yards, pretty accurate right there. But we got to see if we can repeat the results. So let's load up another 3 rounds. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I can't wait to get the normal ammunition back, because it kind of seems sad without the muzzle flash. All right, let's go. So, this is the second series of shots at 20 yards. And as you can see from this right here, yeah, the inaccuracy is starting to show. 1, 2, 3. All 3 of those shots went a little bit too far to the west on that one. So, 2 out of 6 shots, yes. 20 yards is where this gun is going to start getting inaccurate. And I'm not sure if it's just the ammunition or if it is the gun itself. I am fairly accurate with my firearms, but we'll have to test again later. Let's try one more series to be safe. So we have looked at the headshots for this firearm at this distance, and realistically, headshots at 30 feet, 20 yards, not the best idea. So when you're getting out to that distance, you should switch it up to center mass. And as you can see, center mass, very accurate at that distance right there. Pulled a little bit westward, but I'm not sure whether that's me or the gun. We're gonna have to do some more testing just to make sure. Let's see if we can replicate those results with another series of center mass shots. So we're going to load up 3 more rounds, and then we're going to switch to my 1911 for a quick comparison. And that will be the final series of test shots for the AutoMag III for this video. Let's pull that target back and we'll see the final shot results. And as you can see, more center mass shots, pulling northwest a little bit. So some of those accusations that the gun may be a little inaccurate may be founded, and we'll have to test it again later. Let's use my 1911 at 20 yards for a quick comparison. So I went with a full magazine on that one, 7 rounds, 20 yards, just as a basis for comparison for the average gun that somebody else may have. And as you can see, I had to reuse a target because I ran out, but they were all center mass shots, and all 7 of them hit the targets. I reused one from headshots. So the 1911 worked very well for this one on this test, and sometimes it's the gun, sometimes it's the user, and sometimes it is the ammunition. But there is evidence to suggest that maybe this thing has some accuracy issues, so we're going to have to do some further tests. But overall, the gun performed very well at the range. So let's head into the final rating on this one. As you know, at Eclectic Collecting Arsenal, we grade our guns on 3 criteria: reliability, accuracy, and fun. Let's start with reliability. Now, some of the comments that I have had on some of the shorts that I've produced for this particular gun have said it jams, but truthfully, it didn't jam at all on this series of tests. Not at all, not once. So it fired every time, cycled through perfectly, no jams whatsoever. In fact, when I initially purchased the gun, there was a problem with some misfires. I won't lie to you guys on that, but that's because the shop I purchased it from only had some older ammunition with it. So there were some misfires when I first purchased it, but once I cycled through that older box, the misfires completely disappeared. So if you're using good ammunition and you take care of it, this gun is going to be reliable. My 1911 has jammed several times, but it's only because I let it get dirty. I'm going to be keeping this AutoMag III absolutely clean and taken care of, and there should be no reliability issues. But as you saw from the video, no jams, nothing whatsoever. But it's still early in its life with me, so I need to give a fair view of it. So until I test it again with different ammunition, I'm going to give it a solid 4 out of 5 stars for reliability. Now, as far as accuracy goes, that's a different story right there. At close range, headshots were good. Still a little bit of a larger grouping than I was expecting. At the 10-yard distance, very good grouping, expanding out a little bit more. When we got further out to the 20-yard distance and we were making those headshots, that's when you saw the accuracy drop. So as far as pinpoint accuracy goes, I am going to say that this one is not designed for pinpoint accuracy, but when we switched it up to the body shots, center mass shots, it became much more accurate out at 20 yards. So as far as accuracy goes, we have to take into account the northwest travel on the body shots as well. So I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars as far as accuracy goes. Now, fun. Is this gun fun to shoot? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? When you have the right ammunition, do not use a Gia in it, because even though there was some muzzle flash, not as big as you had seen in those shorts. So when I get some good ammunition, we're going to see some bigger muzzle flash. This thing draws attention at the range. Everybody thinks I am shooting a 50 AE. But those of us that have shot 50 AEs like the Desert Eagle, this thing is quiet compared to the Desert Eagle, but it's still an attention grabber. And a lot of people come up to me and they talk to me about it, and they want to know what it is. I tell them about it, and they instantly get jealous. And on top of that, there is the rarity associated with it. Not everybody will see this gun. Several guys at the range who knew about this, they said, I only thought I would ever get a chance to see this in books and on YouTube videos just like this. And I always give them a chance to fire it. Take that off their bucket list. It's the courteous thing to do, especially when you got something as awesome as this. Is it fun to shoot, though? This thing is indeed fun to shoot. The notoriety associated with it, the muzzle flash, and the rarity associated with it. it maxes it out at a 5 out of 5 stars on that one. So we have a very high rating on this firearm, but this is not going to be the only test we do with this, because we use the IAI ammunition, which I don't like. A lot of guys tend to agree with me with IAI ammunition. So we are going to have to do a follow-up test with this gun with some different ammunition. So make sure you click that subscribe button to see part 2 of what we're going to be doing for this. It'll be a shorter video. We'll do a quick recap of what we discussed here, and we'll head immediately to the range. And I will be keeping some of the IAI ammunition that I still have so that you can see a comparison of the ammunition itself coming from this gun. But overall, an incredible rating on this firearm. I absolutely love it. It's a dream gun. I'm glad I have it. And if you guys ever see me on the range and this is with me, if you want a chance to shoot it, I will absolutely let you do it. It is a fun gun, and if it's your dream gun and you just want to shoot it, I will absolutely do it. But if you approach me with any offers to purchase this gun, I promise you, I will give you 3 letters. NF. This is my dream gun. It's with me for the long haul, and I hope you guys will join us soon for the second round of testing for this gun. So click that subscribe button. Make sure you follow us on social media and stay up to date with everything we do. And that's going to do it for this edition of Eclectic Collecting Arsenal. This is Big Frank reminding all of you, keep your muzzle dry. Got a blooper right there. Keep your powder dry, your muzzle downrange, and above all else, be safe. Gotta love those bloopers. Happy trails, everybody, and we'll see you on the range.